Thank you very much for joining us today. What is your name? Where were you born? And where did you grow up? Where in the Balkans is your family from?
My name is Monica Ganev. I'm from Phoenix, Arizona, born and raised, and then my family's from Sofia, Bulgaria.
Why did your family decide to move from Bulgaria to the United States?
I would say it's pretty much how a lot of the immigrants come to the United States is for more opportunities and just to see like a different life.
Mm-hmm. That's something that a lot of people say, like the American dream, right? Like coming over, all the opportunities, all the things.
Yeah, and my parents are still very much like firm believers in that.
In the American dream?
Yeah. Or just all the opportunities that are here.
Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit more about yourself? For example, some insights into your educational background and how it has led to where you are today.
Yeah, so I am a first-generation college student. I just graduated last year from Arizona State University. I studied biomedical sciences and minored in Spanish. And so right now I'm actually in physician assistant school out in Pennsylvania. And it's definitely been an experience for me just because I don't really have anyone in my family that's in the medical field or anything like that. So I think it's like definitely something I'm very proud of.
Mm-hmm. Congrats. I'm proud
Thank
of
you.
Too. You mentioned that you were a first-generation college student and also like first in your family to go into medicine or like that down that path. So as an individual who is pursuing a career in medicine, what have been some of the unique hurdles or challenges you've faced as being a first-generation American and college student?
I think one of the biggest issues was that my parents were not really aware how to approach like the whole college thing in general. So if I had any questions about like financial aid or anything of that sort, they wouldn't really know how to help me. So I had to ask my family friends and like my friends' parents because they just had a little bit more insight on the whole college experience. So I think that was probably one of the biggest issues for me. And then also just moving out of the house because I know my family were very like family oriented. So moving out, being apart from my parents and my twin brother definitely was a little bit challenging.
Mm-hmm. How do you navigate balancing your Bulgarian heritage with the American culture in your daily life? Can you share a specific Bulgarian tradition or custom that holds significant meaning for you and your family?
Yeah, so I think personally, I mean, I am surrounded a lot around like American culture. However, I do talk to my parents every single day and kind of hear about like their experiences. They've recently been involved in the Bulgarian folk dancing, and just hearing about it, attending their events has been like such a great opportunity and experience for me to get a little bit more insight on their culture, and honestly, just keeping up with or keeping in touch with my family friends from Bulgaria as well. I think one of the most like memorable things or something that I'm really excited for every single year is something we call Budni Večer. So that's on Christmas Eve when the whole family gets together. My mom and I will always every single year make a pitka, which is a big chunk of bread, and we just stuff it with a bunch of fortunes. And so my dad will cut the bread into like into slices, and each of us will take a piece, and then whatever our fortune is the fortune we'll have for the next year. And that's honestly every single year I'm so excited for. I love helping my mom with it. I love helping with every single aspect of it and just seeing like what fortunes my family will have, because it's always very positive things like someone will be successful in their business, someone will be like have a new house, be a homeowner, be successful in education, different things like that.
So, what are some major differences that you notice between Balkan and American cultures or customs in regard to hospitality, etiquette, outlooks on life, and so forth?
So I kind of already mentioned the family aspect of it, especially, I would say a lot of cultures outside of the United States really focus on like family gatherings and having like multiple generations of like a family living in one household and kind of like being raised there and like remaining there throughout most of your life. And I feel like that is very different here. So like growing up here, I spent most of my time, with my family. But then I moved out for college. I'm kind of starting my own life. So I feel like that's one of the like biggest differences that I've noticed. And also one thing that really stuck with me is when I was younger, my parents would always tell me, you never show up to someone's house empty-handed. Like every single time we would go over to someone's house for dinner, they have to make something, they have to bring something, whether it's a bottle of wine or a whole dish, like Snežanka.
Yeah.
Every single time. And so here with my American friends or going to like an American dinner, usually you don't really do that. Unless if it's someone's birthday, you're like, okay, yeah, maybe I'll get them a bottle of wine or make them something, give them a gift. But this, it's, you give them a gift just for like, oh, you're welcoming me into your home. Like, of course I have to bring something. Growing up in Bulgaria, if someone was having their birthday dinner, they would be paying for everyone there. Instead of like everybody pitching in for the birthday person. Like how we do here, it's very different. Like we would be like, ще черпиме всички на масата.
Yeah.
Exactly.
How do you navigate the dual identity of being both American and Bulgarian?
Well, I would say it is very challenging to navigate between the two cultures and identities because, I mean, yes, I'm technically like American, born and raised, but I didn't grow up in an American household or anything. I really learned all my American, like the American culture through my friends, through school. So, I mean, I could identify as fully American, but to me, I mean, Bulgarian's my first language. I grew up and was raised on the beliefs and the practices that my parents had and that they were raised with. So I feel like that's definitely like a challenge. So one other thing is, so my last name is Ganev here. It should be Ganeva, but like since I'm here in the U.S., they would interpret those two last names between like me and my brother. So his would be Ganev, mine would be Ganeva as two different names. So it'd be like technically like two different families. And so my parents had to just leave like mine and my mom's last names as my dad's. That's why I also don't have my dad's middle name. We just didn't include that. Like I don't have...
that's true. You don't have a middle name. I would show up to school with like Taratori Musaka, like, and then like all the other kids are eating like pizza and like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and then I'm here with like, my buza, my banitsa, like, and it was like a weird like...
I was always so embarrassed back then. I was like, oh, are people gonna think it like smells weird, that it looks weird, because they have all these like, peanut butter jelly sandwiches or like gushers, things like that. And I was like almost jealous, but then as I grew older, I was like, wait, but this is so special. I mean, I used to even be like kind of embarrassed when I hear my parents speaking on the phone in Bulgarian in front of like especially people in the school, and I was just so embarrassed. I was like, oh, this is like weird, but like I don't even know why I was embarrassed, because now I embrace that. To me it's so cool.
So going off of that, in many cases, individuals from immigrant backgrounds like our parents, they often form close bonds within their community where family friends almost become an extension of their own family due to shared cultural ties. Can you speak about how the Bulgarian community, particularly family friends you've grown up with, has affected you?
Yeah, so honestly, family friends from Bulgaria are like really what helped like tie everything together. So not just having the people I was raised with, but like, because Bulgaria is so small and it's so hard to find people from the like same background. So whenever you do have those family friends, you really like almost share all this like cultural aspect together, if that makes sense. You share everything together. Otherwise, if I didn't have my family friends, and I was really lucky that all of them were my age, but if I didn't have them, I don't really know who I'd be today. Because I mean, like what would I do without you? Stop, I need a Bulgarian sister.
Yeah, say how long we've known each other for, like.
Literally since birth, since the womb, since you were born, so 21 years.
Yeah, 21 years.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
Every single year we would go to Mexico and Rocky Point, and it would be all the Bulgarian families, the like friends, people like kids my age. We would just stay for like a whole month, just have like the most fun. And we would always do these trips, so it was that, and then we would go to like either Pine Top or Greer to go skiing for the new year. So that's where we would have our tradition with the banitsa, the fortunes. And I think that was always very special to me. And then you mentioned the sleepovers. That was, growing up, my parents did not let me have sleepovers with my American friends.
Yes, the exact same thing. I think like you were probably like the second sleepover or like first or second sleepover I've ever had, or that I was like allowed to have with. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like Vasion and then you.
Yeah.
And then as I got older, I mean, even then they'd be like, well, why are you hanging out with them? Why do you have to sleep over there? But if it was someone else, like if I was like, oh, I'm going to Anna's, they'd be like, okay, great, have fun.
You have gone back to Bulgaria. Could you describe a memorable experience or event from one of your trips there, and how did it make you feel?
The last time I went to Bulgaria was in 2018 or 2019. And we stayed at my grandma's place, so it's my dad's mom, and that's in Druzhba. So she lives right by this like cute little lake, and so we would just go down and like walk every single morning, and that was always something to look forward to. It was honestly just such a cool experience seeing how my family grew up, because then we went to go visit some of my mom's family, and literally seeing where she grew up was like a shocker. It was like, wow, like she was like cooking here. She was telling me the other day how her mom would leave her at 5 years old with her 3-year-old brother and just be like, figure out yourself, like I'm going to work. Because her dad passed when she was 5-ish. So her mom would go to work, of course, and then she would just be stuck like cooking in the kitchen at 5 years old, and she's making like manja, like so many different things, moussaka, like you name it. Making that with like her and her little 3-year-old brother running around in diapers, like just crazy, because you don't see that here. There's a lot of people even our age or even like 50 years old that don't know how to cook, so that was shocking.
Yeah.
But one other experience. So this stuck with me, and I don't really know why. It's a very like small thing, but so we were out in the town of Sofia, and we were going to shops just to look at things, and we were talking to one of the workers at one of the stores, and he was like, oh, like you have like such beautiful children, like they can pick out anything from the store that they want. And I was like, oh, that's so sweet. So I was like, oh, I don't want to get anything that looks like too expensive. Let me get like some small little braids. And he's like, no, it's okay. Like pick something else. So I had this little perfume that is shaped like a rose, and like the Bulgarian rose, like the traditional biała rosa, like, yeah.
Do you have any advice for us on preserving our cultures while living in America?
I think it's very important to maintain like your traditional, not necessarily traditional, but just your like family practices. For example, if you're having a child, to raise them with both cultures, because I feel like I know so many people that have like a Bulgarian mother and like an American father, but they don't know Bulgarian. They don't really know much about the culture. They don't really identify as Bulgarian, even though they are half Bulgarian. Because then, you know, you can go to Europe, go to Bulgaria, see what's out there, be able to talk with your brothers and your sisters.
Yes.